to this country 3 years ago, and no, I did not get into radio because I have an amazing voice. I studied communications in Ryerson University in Canada, and I came back on a family vacation actually, and I got an interning position at Homeboys Radio. So here I am, this girl with an amazing voice, thank you for that, and a degree, and I'm going to be an intern at Homeboys Radio. It did not dawn on me that it was a bad idea. I looked at it as an opportunity because it was going to get me where I needed to be. When I started at Homeboys, it was such a great learning experience because I'd already done a lot of radio work. And the craziest thing is that they were not giving me allowance, but it was okay because I was going to provide that for myself until my savings started running out. And my dad was like, I got you. I was like, yeah, right, you got me. And I still went. I still interned. I still showed up. And the first segment they gave me was tweet news. And I was the one who had suggested that. Nobody in this market had thought about how Twitter could change everything. Celebrities were announcing things on Twitter. I took it as an opportunity. Reason being, I needed my voice out there because I needed to be heard. I needed people to realize that I will take over the industry someday. They gave me 30 seconds and I needed the best 30 seconds ever. And once I was done there, I remember I left. Reason being, they said they didn't have money to pay me and I had worked for them for 8 months for free. Now, I believe in working for free, but it reaches a point where you also have to weigh out, is it worth it anymore? If I'm coming in, I'm putting on all this work, but they're not willing to invest in me. I remember I went home after I told them I wasn't going to go back. I sat there and I had no plan. I was a girl who quit with no plan. Then I decided to get into events. I said, come on, I've done a couple of events in Toronto. It worked out perfect. You could work here. I hadn't studied the market. I didn't know anything. I just knew how to do a good event. It didn't turn out so great. However, I got to meet the guy who owns Skylight. He made me the VIP manager. And when I was there, I networked my butt off. My butt off. Anybody, any meeting, any going meeting we would go, I would network my butt off. Reason being, I needed these people to know who I was, because I wanted to get on radio. That was still my end goal. I wanted my own show. After networking for about another 6 months, I got to meet somebody by the name of Nick Mutuma, and I met him through several people, and he told me, you have such a great voice. I think you could do great on our new radio station. Your name was Washuka? Washuka said, if you don't have money, no people. I knew somebody who took me to that party. And when I met Nick, I sold the hell out of myself because I believe in myself. I sold myself. Hey, you would even be surprised. I'm even like thinking back to it. And I got his contact. And there's one thing a lot of people in this Nairobi, they don't do. They never follow up on things. When I got his number, I made sure the next day to call him. I made sure the next day after that to call him. Reason being, it's one thing to tell me you can get me an audition at a radio station. It's another thing if I follow it up in order to make it happen. And that's one thing I see a lot of people don't do. They have a vision of what it is that they want, but they never work towards it. They never follow up on a meeting they go for. They think it's just going to happen because, I met the right person. No, that person has things to do. They'll forget about you. And speaking of forgetting, you need to be memorable. Because I made sure they remembered the hell out of me. That was the only way I was going to get into that door to get that audition. And when I did, oh, trust me, I sold the hell out of myself. I made sure that people remembered me in that audition room in order for me to get that job, and I got the job. Now, when I got the job, You would think, oh, you finally made it on radio. You got to where your vision needed to be. No, that wasn't enough for me. I needed people to know who I was. Yes, that's what the show was going to do for me, but I needed to give it a little twist. I believe in being different. So when I got onto this station that didn't want to advertise that they were new, I took to social media. I don't know how many of you have heard of the show The Morning After through Twitter, because I dominated the streets from 6 o'clock till 10 a.m. with different types of hashtags. I made it my point to make social media how I was going to put myself out there. How many of you use social media just to chill? And you can be honest, I've used it to chill until I realized it's not just a place to chill. Do you guys realize the power of hashtags? Do you guys realize the power of hashtags? I hear whispers. Are people like doubting me? Okay. If you are, well, let me school you on how hashtags work. The Morning After was just a hashtag. The topics that we had were controversial because that's what the PC wanted. But it got me out there. So I used the power of the hashtag to get another show out there. I don't know if you've ever heard of verbal intercourse. The station I was working for didn't believe in giving me an evening late night show. I had a great idea, but I was told no, absolutely not, Mandi. You cannot break the boundaries like that. So I took it to myself to take to Twitter to start my own hashtag, because I believe in taking risks, but take a calculated risk. Research before you take that risk. Okay? How many of you take risks? How often do you take risks? Every year, this year, has anybody taken a risk? With their career? I see very few hands. Do you guys realize that risks build character? They build character. When I started the hashtag verbal intercourse, I didn't think it would become something big until the day I got a phone call from Durex to come partner with them on a campaign. To me, that was a huge milestone because I was the girl who started a hashtag that several men bashed and told me, how the hell are you talking about sex? What do you know about sex? And it wasn't about that. I literally wanted to interact with a society where I understand we are having sex, right? So why are we going to be like our parents where we don't want to talk about it? It's happening. My goal was, let's talk about it. But my end goal was to preach about the use of condoms to protect yourself. And that hashtag landed me a lot of money. And when it got me that money, I decided to invest that money. And it led me to where I am now, that I have a cooking biashara and I sell food in my office, Capital FM. Apart from them, several other people. I took the risk. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are afraid to take the risk because they're afraid they're going to be ridiculed or people are going to laugh at them. Listen, the thing that will set you apart from somebody else is that you took the risk and they didn't. They sat there and talked about you taking the risk. That is the big difference. And if you are failing well or you experience challenges while you're taking that risk, remember, it is building character. Challenges occur in life. It is how you tackle them. So, I've started this morning show. I've become popular enough that I got a phone call from Capital FM to come. Who would have thought that, right? Who would have thought social media would have gotten me a phone call to Capital FM? And not only them, Kiss 100 called me as well. I was surprised. I remember sitting in that meeting like, whoa, wait a minute. This happened because I took control of what I had, which was this show that did have advertising, and I advertised the hell out of myself on social media. So yes, take risks. I encourage people to jump off that cliff. Reason being, I surround myself with people who have encouraged me to take the risk. And that brings me to my point. A lot of people have a vision of where they want to be. A lot of people don't research on how to get to where they need to be. And then they chill with people who are not encouraging them. You are who you surround yourself with. If your friends are all about, yo, let's go spend that money, that's what you're going to do. If your friends come over to your house and they're not encouraging you to do anything different, you're always going to be complacent. And nobody remembers that person who was complacent. Trust me, no one will remember that person. I am okay with being ridiculed because, one, I have an accent. Apparently, we get ridiculed all the time. Two, because I am comfortable with who I am. I believe in myself. I truly believe in myself. The main reason why I like to go for meetings is because, yo, I'm definitely probably going to get that deal. If not, I will make sure they remember me to call me again and say, hey, Mandi, we were actually interested in having you for blah, blah, blah. If you don't believe in yourself, don't expect others to believe in you. It won't happen like that. You are what you attract. Whatever you exude is what you're going to attract. And how you surround yourself with people also is what you're going to attract. I am very frugal. I might look really fancy, but half of my stuff on is from a sale, to be quite honest. I believe in saving money. I started working when I was 15 years old, and when I did, at that time, I was all about let's party. Till I got to 17 years old, and I was like, yeah, okay, enough about the party. Let's buckle down and make some money. I started a styling business in Toronto at the age of 17. I really didn't have a clue until I sat down with a couple of people and researched about this risk that I was going to take. And it actually made me money. And people got to find out who I was. And today people still call me and ask me, oh, do you still sell clothes? No. Do I still style people? No. But I can give you advice on how to go about it. And when I came back to Nairobi 3 years ago, I also sold clothes to women. And when I was selling clothes, I would network. What Washeka said about networking is very important. Anywhere you go, you don't know who you're going to meet. But make sure you network. Make sure you get to know who these people are, what they do. Don't be disrespectful to people. You never know when you're going to need them. How are you using your social media? To troll somebody? To just post memes? To retweet LOL? Is that what you're using social media for? What are you using social media for? I have never been advertised anywhere, and people know who I am through social media. Are you guys seeing how powerful that tool is? If you're just a person to sit and just check out what people are tweeting and Facebooking, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong. My money story, back to the original idea, is that it is possible. A lot of people think it is impossible to achieve a lot of things, but it is not. It's not that hard. You need to be consistent. You need to understand. You need to research a lot. And you need to network. If you don't have money, know people. I absolutely love that. When I came back, I didn't know a lot of people, but now I've made it a point to know a lot of people because I don't know what